Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dee Reinhardt with Illinois WorkNet. We are on a new platform, so pardon my slowness if it happens later today or later during the webinar. I am trying to get everything squared away and rolling. Tammy, did you dial in on the telephone? I just unmuted everybody, but I'm going to be muting you again so that we don't have a lot of background noise, because that's the only way I can figure out how to
Hey, Dee, it's Tammy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. You have to unmute everybody to get me.
I had to unmute everybody else. All right.
No worries.
Now
Just mute us, and then when you need me, you can unmute.
I'm just gonna mute everybody else now by hand. So I'm still hearing somebody that I didn't get muted though. Mute. Somebody's talking.
Maybe.
Everybody's talking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Bill.
Ow.
I just cut you off. Okay, I'm muting you now.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so everybody else should be mute except for Tammy, I think.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Dee? Oh, okay. Awesome.
Okay. All right. Oh,
I'll mute myself so you don't hear my background noise.
wow. This is an experience, let me tell you. Okay. All right, so we're going to talk about numbers here. We're in decent shape. Safe Haven, you've got a few. 2151As past due. Albany Park, Joe, you've got some things. We talked about these last week. Asian Human Services, Anila, you got some 2151As past due. I don't know if you caught these up since I did this at 1 o'clock, but there are quite a few in there. Catholic Charities is okay, but we've got some enrollments that are required. Central State SEER, you've got some applications not started, and I'm almost positive that the same number of enrollment required are those same people that don't have their application started. Homework Hangouts, you've got a completion status that's due. Inspiration Corporation, you've got you've got 10 2151As past due. And I've got some noise on somebody. All right. All right. And then Instituto's okay. Jane Addams, I've got the numbers with the slashes because the first number is Austin, the second number is Ravenswood. So you've got some things in there that need to be done. Leslie Bates, you've got 2 enrollments that you need and 5 minimal progresses that you need to be doing some conciliations on. North Lawndale, Fritz, you got some numbers that you need to get taken care of here. And I know we were on the phone last week too, but we've got to get these done. OAI, you're in decent shape. Phalanx, Bill, you've got some 2151, I'm sorry, some enrollments required. And you've got a couple of completion statuses and SNAP ineligible. Okay, thanks. Then Springfield Urban League, and I'm not quite sure who's on the phone with me from there, but you've got 27 2151As past due, and we need to talk about those. So Larry, if you happen to be on the call, or Arlene, then we need to have a catch-up meeting this week. Tri-County Urban League, you've got 15 21As past due, 2151As past due. Two Rivers, you're in decent shape. And I was looking at National Able, other than those two SNAP ineligibles, I thought you were going to like be the only one on the whole thing that didn't have anything in a row. But, all right. Okay, good. So these were numbers as of 1 o'clock. So if you did, like Josephine just told me, she got hers caught up. So that's a good thing. These numbers will go out into the notes because that's when I did them. I don't want to have to go back and redo them again. But just to let you guys know, we do need to get them cleaned up. All right, I'm going to minimize this one, and we're going to let Tammy, and I've got to find Tammy's phone number. Are you still on the line? Tammy? Did you dial in from, what's the 6234? Is that your digits? Put it in the last. Thank you, Kelsey. All right, so let's mute. Okay, let's unmute that one. Okay, Tammy.
Can you hear me?
About this form, yes.
Yay! They just took my land phone away. We're moving in here, so I'm on my cell phone. Okay, so this form that you have up right now is basically the Performance, Achievement, and Expenditure Report form. And this was revised based upon the implementation that we did in the last modification, that we had 25% of the grant that wasn't subject to performance. And then we also, if you drop down a little bit on that form, D, we have training added as a measure for incentives. So you fill in the yellow areas, and it'll populate the form itself, and it'll show you the availability funds based upon your performance. The actual funds expended in GRS, and I did not, that's one thing I'm going to have to change on this. We're going to post this on the partner resource page, and I'll change that before we post it. The actual funds expended in GRS is something you'll have to pull out of your GRS system and enter that yourself. But then the rest of it, you can just take from, the benchmark report in EPIC and fill that in. Go up a little bit, D, if you don't mind again. The top part of that, this document, the enrolled, that should come out. Those are the numbers based upon your last grant agreement modification. So that's your total numbers. We had treatment group, we had new cohort, and we had the total. So that will be your total numbers of enrolled, complete, employed, and retained, and then your grant amount based upon this last modification that we did. Everybody's really, I think, in pretty decent shape. There's a few of them that we may have to, take a look at. I think everybody's going to be good. It's pretty liberal with this calculation, especially taking that 25% out of performance, and then also having 30% of it based upon assessment. So this was a really tough program to do based upon a pay for performance model, just because you guys didn't control the intake side of it for, the big chunk of this program. So this was a tough one to manage on a performance model. But, this is what we came up with. And like I said, I think everybody's going to be in, pretty decent shape based upon their performance with this. But I just wanted to share that with you, and you guys can use that. And then one other thing, I did send out emails to everybody, except for National Label. I need to get you guys this out. There was one thing we had to look at on yours, but it came out from me today, relating your training openings. And so I just wanted you to take a look at your training openings, and then make sure that you have enough slots available based upon the number that you're planning on enrolling in a training program. And if you're done, you're done. We just need to know that. We need to start closing programs out, because we don't want to be referring customers to an agency if your slots are full. So that's the whole intent of that. We want the slots to be, hopefully more than what you're planning on in your enrolled in training and your grant agreements. But like I said, we just want to make sure that, we're providing good information to DHS as far as what's still available. Anybody have questions on that?
This chat is a whole lot different than the old chat. Okay.
This is new for all of us. I'm looking to see if there's any questions here in the chat part.
No, not for you, but there was one. We have two people. Eric asked, we have two people that completed the program that are being re-engaged. Is that on DHS's part or on us? And it's on DHS to schedule them with your agency. So it just depends on whether or not they need training or if they just need help getting a job again. So,
and we have had a couple agencies that have wanted to add another program, and you can just keep in mind that the training programs have to be short enough that you can get them done and get the customers employed before the end of February. And then the other thing is to keep in mind is that DHS will not be referring anymore after the end of November. So if you're going to be doing this, you need to really load it up. You need to identify customers. You need to be working with the DHS offices to get referrals for those specific training programs. And you can have appointments into December. That's fine. You just need to, if you want to schedule appointments, through the mid to end of December, as long as the training can be completed, that's fine. But my recommendation is that you really need to start loading up on getting reverse referrals and referrals to your organization so you can fill all the slots that you want to fill.
The form that Tammy was talking about, we will send that out via email because I thought I could upload it into the chat pod, and then we will also post it on the restricted resources page. And then if you did not already, check in by agency with your name and what agency you're from. We don't have the same polling capabilities that we had with the old platform. So I just need you to type in who you are and what agency you're with if you didn't already do that. All right. EPIC contact list. Take a look here. Let me know. We need to keep this updated, and so that we can make sure that we've got the right people to reach out to. I will be posting this list on the restricted resources page. It's under the DHS column, so that DHS can be in touch with the right person as well. So if you check this out and see that there is a name that's not correct, please let me know so that I can make the updates. This one was updated as of 10/26, so I haven't heard from anybody else otherwise that there are any changes that need to be done. All right, Tammy talked about training program update openings, and what was the form that you referred to?
The performance report form?
Yes, thank you.
Benchmark report and performance report. Do we have anybody on from Sprinkle Living League? I looked through the list and I didn't see anybody. If not, we'll have to reach out to them.
Oh. Tammy gave me her cold last week when we were at a conference together. Okay, last piece that I want to show you is some updates. And the biggest update is customers can no longer have an appointment, a new appointment assigned unless they are marked as eligible or eligible and exempt. So we had some DHS people that were scheduling appointments for customers, but forgetting to mark the customer as eligible again. So we have fixed that option. And then otherwise, we're just making sure that the control group information is being handled appropriately in the system. So if you provide services for control group as well as for EPIC, then you might possibly be seeing some of the changes. But in most cases, it's for staff that deals with that. So last but not least, Tammy, any update on staff training at all?
We have the purchase request or the over to DHS right now for their review. I'm hoping that we're going to get this to SIUC by next week. It's going to be, a push to get this done. We're probably going to be looking at January And I know this is really, really late in the game, but we still want to provide some opportunities for training for you guys that can be used past this grant. So we're going to be looking at some options, possibly with a family-focused coaching strategy and some other, techniques to bring to you guys so that, it's something that you can use down the road also. Like I said, this is something that I really, really wanted to do 2 years ago, and things just kept getting derailed for different reasons. But we still want to get this done and bring to you what we can bring to you that makes sense, and that makes sense for you guys to be able to use down the road also. So, keep in mind on that. And we still are going to probably do an in-person meeting just to close out, and to just talk about, all of our experiences, and then to just kind of close out this program. So that'll be probably in January too, I'm anticipating, or early February. And then the only other thing is we are working still on success stories. We're back on that. We're doing some video success stories. And DHS, actually, no, it was FNS just shared some that they've done with their Skills to Success out of Washington, the state of Washington, and some other places that were good success stories. And I can share those with you guys. But that's kind of what we're looking for out of the EPIC program. We've got some that we're working on right now. But, I'll share this with everybody. And if you guys have some, the other ones like, oh, yeah, we should be utilizing this as video success story, then let us know. And then the only other thing is we still have the steering group, and we're finishing up with the surveys that we did. You guys provided surveys for us, and so did DHS frontline staff and the admin staff. And we're analyzing all of those and putting that information together. And then we're also going to be reaching out to employees and employers to survey them so that we can have a report basically based upon our findings of the surveys of that. Besides that, Dee, can you think of anything else that we need to talk about or bring them up to date with?
Yes, there was a request from Juanita Sanders from DHS that she wanted to add some of the agencies to the IES resource list. And if you would like to be included in that, if you're already a traditional SNAP ENT provider, I believe they have all of your information. But if you are not currently a traditional SNAP ENT provider and would like your information included in the IES resource guide, please send me an email. We've got contact information from the contact list, but we need an email that includes when you have orientation dates, type of service that you provide, and your days and hours of operation. And I will forward all of those emails that I receive to Juanita so that she can add that to the database. It is not a requirement, but if you would like your information included in the database, please send me those emails. And if you want to do it now, before you forget, then it would be a good thing to do. And I will include this in the notes as well, so that if it does slip your mind, then we've got it in email. All right, anything else? Tammy, can you think of anything else? Did everybody put their name and their agency into the chat pod?
I mean, my only other thing is just, finish strong, you guys. Let's try and, help as many people as we can with the money that we've got. I mean, we're still going to have money available in the EPIC program. We, like I said, we didn't, serve, 2,500 people like we had, originally thought when we were doing this. So, but just finish strong, do your very best to help these customers move so we can get positive outcomes. And, hopefully the results of this will have an impact on how future SNAP ENT projects are administered. So just appreciate all your work out there.
All righty. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll get the notes out as soon as we can, and have a great rest of your day.
Bye-bye.